So my name is Tomas Weinreb.
And my name is Petr Kazda.
We are both directors and co-producer and screenwriters of film Olga Hepnarová. We are very glad for invitation to Panorama, especially for the opening. It's a big honor for us. And our film is about a very young girl from the Prague. He has a problem with the feelings and with the inner space, and he tried to find something outside of the society, but it was impossible for her. And this tragedy goes to one of the biggest tragedy in Czech. And we hope that not only this topic is connected with Czech Republic, but should be some more international one.
Your premiere is here, but then you're going to travel the world basically, and you're going to screen the movie on all continents, more or less. Okay. So here it's going to be the world premiere.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Today.
Okay. It's opening the Panorama tonight, right?
Yes.
Okay. How did you actually get to start working on this movie? Like, what was the background? You did a documentary on Olga Hepnarová, right?
Yeah, but this doc was about during our work on this film. So we try to find the people who was involved with this story, and we met some guy who lived. He was friend, maybe boyfriend, with Olga, and it was the student film about his life, and it was very interesting because he didn't talk about Olga and about relationships. He talked only in some feelings, not the exactly words, and some information. And it was quite good for us that we met many people who was involved in this story, but many of them were afraid to talk about it, or have some problems with it. But the feelings from these people was very important for us to writing the script.
But why were they scared to talk about it?
Sorry?
Why were they scared to talk about it? Why didn't they want to? Didn't they want to talk about her, or didn't they want to talk about the story?
It was taboo. I think about the story, because in Czech it's a very tough story.
It's still a life story in Czech Republic.
Okay.
Because it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
Well, still problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course, this film is about murder, but we try to make some question: how is it possible that some young girl from good family, but with a very cold family, is behaving in this case, and made this very cruel thing. But this film was making. We think that it was very important, but that's the reason it's taboo, and open this taboo.
But you're saying it is still a taboo in the Czech Republic. What exactly is the taboo? That she was so much against society, that she killed so many people, that it was in connection with a girl that was a lesbian? What exactly is the taboo?
Well, she was a mass murderer. It's the most taboo.
The interesting is that the people in Czech are talking about it, but talking about a lot. But there was also the book. The author of this book was Roman Cílek, who was a writer of the facts, and we contacted him and made together deal with this book to the script. But your question is about why. I think it's an half that people want to open it, but they are scared, and the scared it's very normal way, because the parents, or not parents, the families from these victims are still alive.
Well, for me the question was just, mass murder itself doesn't sound to me like a taboo, because that is something that occurs in history or in other countries. That is something you talk about in the news. And so I was wondering if that was a special case of taboo because of this person, because of her background, because of, well, also the ideas she had in mind when she, for example, wrote the goodbye letter and stuff like that. Because to me it was, well, I had the feeling that it was not just her doing a mass murder, but that it was also her fighting against the whole society. And
that's maybe the biggest problem. Yes, that's maybe the biggest problem for the debut, that she was against all our world, all our people. You know, you talk about the lesbian. Of course, it's a very important story in our film, but I don't think so. It's a problem in Czech. That she was lesbian, and that was the problem of she was lesbian. You know, of course, in this time was much more difficult to have a love with the girl. Of course, it's the same like in this time. But I think in the Czech we are. I think our country it's very close to some things, but I think to the lesbian or the gays, it's not so big problem. Not so big problem in Czech Republic, generally.
well, that was actually something that really surprised me when I watched the movie, how open society back then seemed to be about homosexuality. Because she goes to a bar, she's very open about being lesbian, dancing with a girl, being almost naked on stage, stuff like that. What was the context back then? What was the historical situation? So homosexuality was not forbidden in that time? Was there an acceptance in society?
I'm not expert for this question, but of course, everyone who was different, in some case, especially in the 70s, in the normalization of communism after the 68, after the spring 68, and after the Russian attack. So the country was going to the normalization, and the people started to close together inner and not be open, and you ask if it's a connection to it. Of course, that with Olga, for example, as going on dancing scene with she's naked and everything, it happens, you know, and it was forbidden. If it will forbidden to be in a relationship between people with the same male. The Communist Party doesn't like it, of course, but I don't think so. It will be so big problem for the society, for the people.
And it was also not forbidden by law?
I don't think so. In the 70s, I think no, but of course you have. It was impossible to have someone like in the wedding or something, a registration or so on. But if you have some sex with the people, with the person of the same male, I think it wasn't under law.
Okay. Well, talking about Olga and her personality, I wasn't quite sure how to understand her. On the one hand, she seemed extremely fragile, very vulnerable, but at the same time, I didn't find her very likable because she was so full of anger, so full of hate. And I wondered how did you get close to this character? And was that what you sort of found out on your research, that they had those both parts in her, this vulnerable part and the part full of anger?
If I understand you, we have some information from the from the police documents and court documents, how she behaved and how she was. But if you're asking if it's for us the important that she was full of the hateness or thing, if you be pushing to this topic, is this the question in this way?
No, it's not exactly. The question is rather, I had the feeling that it was a very complex character,
yes,
with lots of different aspects.
Yes.
And I was wondering how you got to form this character, because I guess it was based on some documents by the police or somewhere else. So was that also what sort of came out of those documents, or how did you form the character in the movie?
Of course, we have some because Olga Hepnarová is a big topic, and we made some film, and this film is on the balance of our point of view and the facts, and the question is about if we push the hateness, you know, I don't think so, you know, because all the documents, the people who met her, our feelings for the letters, and everything what she did was for us some existential drama. And this existential drama means for us that you are going inside, very inside. You have some own moral codex to do it something against the society or opposite of the society. And it for us was one of the point of view that we don't care about the people in the story, like we ask some questions. What Olga will be or not, but we have so many informations that we try to go for the feelings, maybe. Oh, because I have a little problem with your question, maybe. so.
Well, my question is basically, how did you form the character in the movie? Based on what? What was?
I think we are talking about last 3 minutes, you know.
It's
Yeah,
based
no.
on her life,
Yeah.
and we know her life, whole life story.
Okay.
And it's a mixture of hate and loneliness, and then we put it together to the whole story.
Mhm. So it was basically that what you also got out of the documents, these two sides of her. Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
It's a true story.
Yeah.
But for us it was very important that we would like to be not on her side
Okay.
only, you know, and not only above it, you know. It's some balance about the cult of the of the how we show the story, and that was the most difficult things in this film, because in Czech, for example, not only Czech but everywhere, should some have the problems with it that we try to excuse her, you know, and for us was not so question to excuse her, but to try to make some questions, how is it possible, and if it's possible today.
Why do people excuse her, and how do they do that?
The people think that we could maybe excuse her.
No, but you said that people normally do it, that they...
No.
Ah,
Sorry.
okay,
no,
then I
sorry.
misunderstood you, I'm sorry.
The people maybe will think that we will excuse
Okay.
her.
Okay. And, well, you said that it is a taboo topic in the Czech Republic. How do you think the audience will react when you show this movie in the Czech Republic?
We think half and half. Half and half will be open to it and will be very glad. I think that the films is was shot, but I think some people will be angry that it's not good to open this topic. You know, of course.
But why are they angry that this topic will be open, that this person becomes part of the, I don't know, national heritage, of the national memory? Or
It's a human being,
what?
I think. It's a human being and the human being and the history of the Czech, you know. But for us, it's important that this film is based on true story, but it's something essential in Czech, important for Czech. But of course, if it will be some kind of universal topic, it will be great, you know. So that we are here, and if the other people not from the Czech Republic will understand the story, you know, and the film.
Where are the points where you would say that they might not be able to understand it? What parts of it, or what aspect of the movie?
In Czech or
In Czech.
What aspect they will not understand? They will not understand why we are making this film, because it will be better to make some film about the doctor or the scientist, you know, not about the character which was bad in this case, you know, because she was murdered. But it's the problem of the making the films, for example, in Czech, that it's not happy film. It's very sad. It's tragedy also for us, for the people, and also for the Olga, you know. And of course there was a death penalty, and we are against the death penalty at all.
Well, she was the last woman that actually got killed by the death penalty. Is that something that is still somewhere in the history books, somewhere in the memory, the national memory, that you, for example, learn in school?
About the death penalty, or
About her being the last woman that was...
No. In school not, but many people knows about it. But it's big discussion. I don't know if it will be a referendum about death penalty. Maybe
Most of people
say yes. So of course that's the problem. I don't know how it's in Germany or France, but the people wants revenge.
Well, we already talked about what the audience might, or how the audience might react in the Czech Republic. Tonight you're going to have the premiere here in the festival. What do you think how the audience here will react, or what would you wish for how the reaction will be?
We will very glad. It will be open of the sadness and the emotions and feelings what happens, and of course for today's it's also problem that the person did some terrorist attack, but this terrorist attacks it's connected with the religion or the politics, and Olga Hepnarová didn't in this way, you know. But still in our own society many people who has a big problem with inner, and they are not able to cure. And when they have full of hateness and they didn't commit suicide, they go against the society. The reaction we will see.
Okay, but you don't have any expectations for tonight. What's going to happen?
Of course, because not many, but some people from abroad, from the Czech Republic, because we have French co-producer and the Polish one, but the Eastern one, you know, it's a little bit connected together. And so we have some feedbacks also, and some feedbacks are very good, some feedbacks are more cold. So.
Okay. Well, then I wish you a very good premiere tonight, and thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And he tried to find something outside of the society, but it was impossible for her. And this tragedy goes to one of the biggest tragedy in Czech. And we hope that not only this topic is connected with Czech Republic, but should be some more international one.
Your premiere is here, but then you're going to travel the world basically, and you're going to screen the movie on all continents, more or less. Okay. So here it's going to be the world premiere.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Today.
Okay. It's opening the panorama tonight, right?
Yes.
Okay. How did you actually get to start working on this movie? Like, what was the background? You did a documentary on Olga Hepnarová, right?
Yeah, but this doc was about during our work on this film. So we try to find the people who was involved with this story, and we met some guy who lived. He was friend, maybe boyfriend, with Olga, and it was the student film about his life, and it was very interesting because he didn't talk about Olga and about relationships. He talked.
This is still a live story in Czech Republic.
Okay.
Because it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
Well, still problem.
Because of course, this film is about murder, but we try to not explain, but make some question. How is it possible that some young girl from good family, but with a very cold family, is behaving in this case, and made this very cruel thing, but. So my name is Tomas Weinreb.
And my name is Petr Kazda.
We are both directors and co-producer and screenwriters of film Olga Hepnarová. We are very glad for invitation to Panorama, especially for the opening. It's a big honor for us. And our film is about a very young girl from the Prague. He had a problem with the feelings and with the inner space. Look only in some feelings, not the exactly words, and some information. And it was quite good for us that we met many people who was involved in this story, but many of them were afraid to talk about it or have some problems with it. But the feelings from these people was very important for us to writing the script.
But why were they scared to talk about it?
Sorry?
Why were they scared to talk about it? Why didn't they want to? Didn't they want to talk about her, or didn't they want to talk about the story?
It was taboo. I think about the story, because in Czech it's a very tough story